Hello, hi there. It is me back for my second full week update on my way to the pre-op diet. I am, I guess, less than 6 full days out. This has been a week. So last week first let's start off by saying that as of today I am 14 pounds down from when I started, which is really good. I've never lost weight this quick. So that is good. Let's start off with that. So last week I went over about the food issue, showing you the food I was supposed to eat on the diet and what that meant. So let's say I started getting some issues with hives and having to use my inhaler a lot more. I was becoming wheezy, and I could tell that I was having an allergic reaction. I do have some food allergies, the main one being tree nuts, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and that's the only thing I'm eating. And my mom is like, Brittany, I think it's the food. I thought I was just having really bad anxiety. So I go and I pull out all the food and I look, and it is manufactured in a factory that could be cross-contaminated with tree nuts. So I kind of was like, well, maybe that's it. And I call the doctor and I tell them I have a tree nut allergy, and they're like, okay. And this was kind of Wednesday. I let it go, honestly. I was trying to let it go because I was losing weight. And also, like, in the back of your mind, like, I'm like, are they going to think I'm lying, that I'm trying to get out of this diet that's really hard? And, you don't want to have fear of, like, are they going to cancel the surgery? You know what I mean? So I was trying to go, but by that point, like, anytime as soon as I would eat, I was getting all red. I had hives from head to toe. I was itching, and having to use my inhaler, and I never really have to use my inhaler. So I couldn't do it anymore, and they were so understanding. All of my fears, they were not like that at all. They were like, yeah, no, it's fine. I'll email you a modified diet, and you stop the food right now. So I stopped the food. The modified diet, though, I was just like, I'm not gonna lose weight as fast, and it's true. I haven't. I've lost 1 pound since I started it. But I will say that I was so excited, kind of, in a way, like, when they gave me the grocery list. So basically it's like twice a day, 5 ounces of protein, like a chicken breast or lean beef. Then there's like maybe like 3 cups of veggies, like non-starchy veggies. I've been doing spinach mostly. Then three things of light yogurt. Then there was like cream soups. Honestly, like, I haven't been able to even eat. Oh, and then 2 protein shakes, right? Whatever kind of protein shakes you like. I actually haven't been able to eat all I'm supposed to. So, because I went from basically like that starvation diet to now like trying to stay full the whole time. But there's definitely a learning curve. But I enjoyed going out and buying. I've been making and cooking from that. Going from that medical diet for those 10 days. I was on it for over 10 days. Basically, just for lunch and dinner, I've been doing grilled chicken, and steamed spinach, and then for a couple I did steamed broccoli. The cream soups aren't bad, but I can't do 2 cans a day like they said. I'm basically full. And light yogurt, I've been doing like Yoplait Light, and Boston cream pie has been my favorite. So actually my kids like it too. And then, of course, just trying to drink a lot of water. And then protein shakes. Premier Protein Shake is what I've been doing. So I'm going to say, like, I thought, like, the problem was gone because I wasn't eating the food. But then I started, the hives were appearing again. And I'm like, what is going on? So that was Wednesday I stopped. So Tuesday night. So Wednesday I was a full day. And then, like, around the morning, I would notice I would get really hot and itchy. And then in the afternoon, around the afternoon. And I just was like, maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe it is my anxiety is, like, causing hives, and maybe my body's just whatever. So Friday morning, I have a cup of coffee, and how I've been doing is, like, a black coffee and then filling it up with Premier vanilla protein kind of as my creamer, and then just finishing the rest. So I did that, and then I'm driving to take my daughter to school, and I drop her off, and we're very close to home, and then I start, like, I call my mom, and I'm like, I'm not feeling right. My tongue's itchy. Okay, I'm having problems breathing. I was like, Mom. And then it started to get scary. I'm like, I'm struggling to breathe. I'm going to have to call an ambulance. I tried my inhaler and it didn't work. I'm like, I'm going to have to call an ambulance. But I was able to, like, drive and pull into my house because I was super close, and sit there, and I called 911 and basically said, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. My mom lives very close by, so she drove over because my husband was at work, my daughter was at school, and I didn't get to, so basically I drop off my daughter and then I go take my 4-year-old to preschool. But so that's where I was supposed to go, was take him to preschool. But instead I just drove right home. My house is, like I said, like super close to the school because I couldn't breathe. And trying to stay calm because I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old with me. But I'm like, so I just call my mom, I tell them what's happening. And the paramedics come, and my mom's there at the same time. My mom actually beat the paramedics. And they take me to the ambulance, and they start, like, doing a breathing treatment right away because it's clear at that point my oxygen was low, and I was struggling to breathe. They had me do breathing treatments for a while, and kind of wasn't working as well as they felt comfortable, like, releasing me. And then they also did an EKG, and the EKG had abnormal finding. And it's not like, let me just tell you, I was panicked. I was very panicked. They kept trying to tell me to calm down, but I don't know if you've ever had, like, an asthma attack before. I haven't had them a lot. And I have had an anaphylactic reaction. It's very, very scary. You feel very powerless because you think you're dying, okay? So that's what. And I think that's what was causing, so, like, my heart rate was very, very high. They're trying to tell me to calm down. I have anxiety anyways. I've been super anxious this whole time anyways. And I just, like, I was trying to do everything. I was just, like, closing my eyes, and I'm like, okay, you're okay. Just trying to breathe in on the breathing treatment. And they're like, you know, we're going to have to take you to the hospital. It's like, great. So I was like, my husband was home because he was actually working at a house not too far from where we live. So he was home by the time the ambulance was there. So he stayed with the kids, and my mom followed us to the ambulance, which happened. So we get to Mount Carmel East, and they ended up, like, having me do a bunch more breathing treatments. And they ended up doing a 12-lead EKG because that, I guess, it can tell you more than the whatever one I think the one in the ambulance only was like a 4-point or a 6-point. And so at the hospital, a 12 is just like 12 different spots on your heart, making sure nothing was wrong. So they wanted to do that, having hooked up to that for a while. And of course, everything was fine and normal. They did x-rays on my lungs, make sure I wasn't having pneumonia or anything. They were very thorough, but I'm like, God, I seriously, like, and then the doctor also, he just, you know, explained everything from the whole food and and he really wanted to check, like, my levels because he said that could cause issues for, like, the diet could have caused, like, issues with my electrolytes or magnesium, sodium and stuff. So he wanted to check all that before they let me go. And they made me do, like, several more breathing treatments. So by the time I left, I was feeling great as far as, you know, as far as, like, breathing and stuff. So everything came back great. Determined kind of that, like, I had an asthma attack, which then turned into a panic attack. Oh, I'm a mess, guys. A mess. But I don't know when I left the hospital, I'm like, I don't know what I was allergic to that triggered the asthma attack. And it was just like beating my brain. Like, what? All I had was the coffee and the protein drink. Like, and I checked the protein drink, and there's nothing like cross-contamination with tree nuts. And then I started to think a lot more. And then I'm like, you know what? I think that it's the whey protein. So whey is what makes the protein in the protein drink. There's different types of ways to make protein, but whey, I guess, is from milk. So whey protein was also the source of protein in all of the food that was causing the allergy that I wasn't able to drink. So like that I had to stop eating. So they basically, the food that I was eating from the hospital, they had added extra protein, and it was all whey protein. So what I had determined, of course I'm going to see an allergist to follow this up. But the thing is, when you keep adding something that you're allergic to, the reaction gets worse every single time. And it's quicker. And so my body had taken a while, and it was building it up. So what, of course, like, I'm not a licensed doctor or anything, but I do have a lot of experience in my own personal allergies through my life. The whey protein in the protein drink, I've already had it built up in my system. I couldn't because of the food. And then I was drinking the 2 protein drinks a day. I drank the protein drink, and that was just the last time that my body was like, stop it. This is what I'm thinking. I still have a cough lingering, from this week. And then, of course, like, my research showed me that it is it's not an uncommon allergy to have. And everything I read, that my symptoms matched. And it just made so much sense. My mom was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And it just clicked. So from now, my struggle is going to be, and I don't know if it's a struggle, but it's just like a detour, is finding protein sources that aren't whey, because whey is the most common one, but there are other ones. So I have ordered some vegan protein drinks that are coming, so that's gonna be non-dairy, non-whey. And then I actually found something, and I looked which ones taste good. I have a friend that has a dairy and sensitivity, and I'm just like, I can drink milk fine and stuff like that, but the thing is, like, what a lot of people are sensitive to stuff they don't know about. But whey, the protein powder, it's just like concentrated, so that's a lot, and then it's just building up, so that's why I think the reaction came from. But I have a friend that I asked, and she has like she has just like a protein powder she adds to everything. It's like non-flavored and stuff, and it's not from whey protein, so I'm going to order some of that, because I just know, like, a part of this is going to be very important to get your protein, because you hear, like, that just helps keep your muscles, and that's where your energy comes from, and it will help tell your body, to help tone your muscles and help you lose weight too. So that's just something that a lot of people may not have to deal with, but if you are out there and you cannot handle or tolerate whey protein, give me your suggestions in the comments, because I'm very open to them. It's kind of funny, my friend Sarah, if she's watching this, she was just like, whatever you do, Brittany, do not become a vegan. I was like, girl, I'm not going to become a vegan. Like, I love meat, I love steak, I love chicken, and we're just a big joke, and so I have to send her that I now am eating vegan protein drinks. My first step. But no, like, it's just going to be, because I'm allergic to nuts, too. So, but I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to have to do all the research I can after the surgery. I'm going to see an allergist specialist to get, I had a workup when I was younger, but I feel like a lot of things have been added on and changed, and it wouldn't hurt. So I do want to see an allergist specialist to just check up on that. And I do think I'm going to need to see someone about my anxiety, which has been through the roof. It's hard. It's actually been pretty hard. it's hard to like explain sometimes, like when your world has been like very food centered. People like kind of take that for granted, but like a lot of people do a lot of fun stuff, and it's kind of all like centered around food. Like, let's go out and have fun, and let's go celebrate with food. Let's all meet up and eat. My friends were, I went to a meeting today. One of my good friends, she has 12 years clean. And after the meeting, they were all going to brunch, and they were invited me, and I just said I wasn't going to go. And like, and the thing is, like, I can't right now. It's kind of like my drug house. Going to a restaurant, they went to First Watch, and, you know, it's just, I've been feeling kind of down this weekend, I think. It's just like, I didn't realize how much of my, coping mechanisms have come from, like, food, you know, like stress eating or anger eating or celebrating, and just like learning a little bit more about myself. And also a lot just like happiness has come from food. It's really weird to say that, but like I'm like looking forward to that next like meal, looking forward, looking at a menu, or you know what I mean? So like I'll get like in this place this week where I'm like, oh, I feel like I don't have nothing to look forward to, which I know is a lie. It's just my brain. But like there's times where like I know food has definitely caused my life to be unmanageable because of for me not being able to eat in moderation. Not being able to eat in moderation and not being able to just what it's done to my body, you know, and the power it kind of had like controlling all situations. So I do feel happy that I'm going to have some power back in that way, and that my life's not going to be such food centered. And I kind of am working on that, like with my children. You know, they're all still young. The oldest one's 7. And I want them to know that there's more to life than food. Like, we're going to do, like, such, you know, I have plans for us to do a lot of fun stuff. And it's not going to be, like, about food. And it's kind of, we have a vacation coming up the end of May. We're going to Panama City Beach. And, like, the one thing in my mind, like, it was always, like, the food. Like, oh, man, we're going to have, like, good shrimp and grits and, you know, that good. And I'm just like, no, like, Brittany, we are going to look at the beach, and we're going to go on a helicopter tour, and we're just going to do a lot of fun stuff, and it doesn't have to be about food. So that is that. That's my week. I'll try to update next week with you guys to let you know, like, how things have been and how I'm doing after the surgery. So just, you know, keep me in your thoughts. If you pray, pray. If you know, whatever you do, if you do witchcraft, or if you know, smoke signals, whatever, think of me, think of my family. I just really hope that, you know, recovery is not too rough on us. I do still have small children, and I don't want to, like, be a burden on them. So, I will see you guys when I'm on the loser's bench.